So we're seeing a total restart. What will that look like? How will we function in this new framework as a people? Not just Black people, but as a people. What will happen to you young folks in the next 30 years? You should ask your profs that. We can't keep doing this dance and call it, I don't even know what they call it, but they say it's equity, right? It's not going to work anymore. The things we have to do now is more intense because we've never sat down and addressed and problem solved the way we should as intelligent beings. And so now we are still carrying all that legacy that is not going anywhere until we fix it.
My name is Aliyah Fraiser. I'm 24 years old. I'm the owner and operator of Lucky Bug Farm, which is a quarter-acre market garden based in Erin, Ontario. And I'm growing a variety of herbs, veggies, flowers, greens, and yes, vegetables that are profitable, but also ones that are relevant to me and my community and my culture.
So you're 24 years old. You're really young as far as the demographics of farmers. So how has that been like as far as like a young farmer and a Black farmer?
It's not easy. Like, even though I think the path that I'm on is a pretty good one and one that has like, even though I'm young and Black, like I have privileges, like was able to afford to go to university and get an education and yet pay off those student debts pretty fast. So I don't want to make it seem like, you know, I don't want to downplay like the advantages and the privileges that I have, but that being said, it's tough. It's tough to constantly have to work against people's expectations that have nothing to do with you, but everything to do with you at the same time. It's tough to have to advocate for yourself as a Black woman and often have that taken as hostility or disrespect when really you're just standing up for yourself and your mission and like what you came to do and your vision and your plan to achieve that. And it's tough to have to come up against people's ideas of what farming is. Is it large scale? It's white. It's often done by men, and it's often very, I don't know, just made to seem, I found at least made to seem that like, not that it, sorry, I'm trying not to like be too much on either side of the fence, but I think people like talk a lot about the hardships of farming instead of focusing on like, and there are so many hardships, but I really came into this trying to focus on, just growing food.
We have the Asian community here. We have the South Asian. We have the Africans. We have indigenous peoples. We have this. Let's sit down now and structure a framework that the resources that are being given and are here can serve us in that circle. You know, the native people talk about the medicine wheel. Serve us in the medicine wheel because our food is our medicine and our lifestyle is our therapy. Community food security as it pertains to people that are food poor and food insecure, we need to hub the knowledge. So we're talking about a food hub that it will be a physical space that actually gives us the opportunity to create the scenario from field to table. And so for us, we'd like to see access to maybe one of these schools that they're closing down. For instance, in the city of Toronto, and the land around it, we can regenerate the land and turn that into an urban farm?
I want to see access, affordability to good food, and at the same time, an access in terms of land, whether it be long-term lease or ownership, access to good food. Unfortunately, food has been thrown in this class structure. We'd like to see those barriers broken down. In terms of ethnicity, why is it that the Asians over there and the Africans over there and the Caucasians is over there? We have to sit together because the last time I checked, we're breathing the same air. We live in the space. Whether you like me or not, we have to coexist.
I want this farm to like exist beyond me in a way. Like I want, in particular, young Black girls, women, femmes, to see a path for themselves in agriculture, where they feel like seen and respected, heard, valued, and as though they can make a living off of farming. It doesn't have to be the most, it's not going to be a super duper fancy, driving fast cars. Like, you have to think about what you want out of this life. But if what you want is to feed community, feed your soul, connect with nature and people who also care about those things, farming is a really great way to do that. And so I want this farm to be a place where people can come and see that dream happening. That's my first goal. And that involves, like, the nitty-gritty of that is really like growing food and selling it for a few years and getting my name out there and doing the work. So that will happen for a bit. But I'm also trying to get people to see and understand that, like, everything is connected. I see so many commonalities between the issues in the planning world and the issues in the farming world that I would love to be able to use my knowledge of urban planning and of, all that municipal planning jargon that I have in my head should not go to waste. And so being able to plan for our food system is super important to me.
I'd like to see that some of these recommendations from the International Decade for People of African Descent are met. And one of the 5 recommendations to Canada on top of that declaration is access to arable fertile land. Mm-hmm. So hopefully in the future, we have some more intelligent people that are making decisions, whether it's public health, the agricultural institutions, the colleges, the organizers on the ground, the grassroots organizers, and other service entities as they pertain to food that are providing and creating a really good, cohesive network of people doing good for themselves and each other. And so for me, in my next half of my life, I want to live in a food forest. I want my nice little retrofitted shipping container house to be in the midst, and I want to be living in a food forest. So every time you come and visit me, I don't have to feed you. We can go out and eat.
Because I think it's very uncommon to see young Black women running their own businesses, like especially in Southern Ontario. And it shouldn't be that way. And so, classic, like, you can't be what you can't see.
We don't talk to young Black people about farming. We talk to them about food. Because everybody needs to eat. And everybody needs to learn how to do this for themselves, right? So, again, the redress is being shoved aside, pushed out of the margins. Black people should not ask for reparation. They should not talk about this history. And we do not, the new spin that Canada has right now is that they were not a part of slavery. And that's bull. It's on record. It's in your archives. We're getting grace to do what's right. I sincerely hope that we do what's right, because this rain is falling. Does not fall on me alone. It falls on all of us. It's all our responsibility to change what is happening and to hold people accountable.